Hello everyone and welcome to my channel and welcome to another episode in deck reviews. So today I'm going to do a deck review of a deck that is not a tarot deck. It can be classed, I suppose, as a oracle deck, but not quite an oracle deck. So it's not really a deck that you would maybe use for tarot readings, but you could if you wanted to. But for me, this deck I bought when I'm going through a very low period in my life, and I found that it was something that was really inspirational and something that helped me get through a lot of lows, when I was feeling really flawed and very miserable. And there was nobody to turn to. This was the deck I did use to help me, get some new insights and a better understanding, because that's what you do when you go through a bad period in your life. You either turn back into yourself and try to find out why these things happened. And I've received so many messages, through the YouTube channel where people have been feeling so hopeless and, feeling so unsupported and, so miserable. And, I felt that I needed to actually share this deck with people because it helped me. And, if there's nobody there to support you, sometimes you don't have any friends or family or somebody that you can turn to or somebody that you can, ask for that advice from, because, everybody's got their opinions and, they want to put it on to you and you don't, sometimes you can't cope with that. And you just need something to guide you through that period, that really low period, to get you out of feeling so down in the dumps. And it's just something that gives you that pickup from being miserable. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a person that does it. But just to know that there is some help, some sort of hope there is sometimes just good enough to get you through that phase, through that little hitch where you can't seem to find your way out. So I found that this particular deck was very helpful, and I'm very, very glad that I bought it. It's not something, I don't use it in any of my readings, but I could, I suppose, but it's a very personal deck, and it's something that I turn to whenever I'm feeling very hopeless or helpless, where I feel like I don't have any personal power. It really does help me get through a situation and help me see things from a different light. So it's the Colette Baron-Reid deck, and it's called Postcards from Spirit. And as you can see, it says 52 card oracle deck. It comes in a lovely box. I love boxes, and this is a really, really nice sturdy box. It's got the title of it on the front of here, and this Colette Baron-Reid, she's a psychic medium. She's written a whole bunch of books, and she's also done the map oracle deck as well. And you can buy that if you like. And usually I'm not into major oracle decks. I tend to stick mostly to the tarot, but this was something that I really enjoyed using it, and it really helped me get through some bad times. And I will use it continuously because healing takes a long time, and some days are really good and some days not so good. So when you're feeling really low, this is a good deck to turn to. And it is postcards from spirit, so it's like messages coming from the other side, so that you're not alone. You're not going through this life by yourself with nobody interested in you. There are people, or there are entities on the other side, support from the other side, and that comes through very nicely in this deck. So like I said, it comes in a really nice box and very, very sturdy, it's written in a postcard form. It's got a lid that comes off, flips off, and you can see the cards are really nicely well kept in it. And it comes with this card. It's supposed to be, it's really the little white book of the deck itself. You can open it up, and it tells you about what you're actually getting here, and these are the it tells you about the veil on the other side, and the loving beings on the other side, and it shows you, gives you a little bit about how you can work with these postcards from spirit. because it says, unlike other decks where multiple cards make up the reading, this one is designed to facilitate a dialogue between you and those in spirit, as you choose one card at a time to answer the question you have posed. So you can ask a question of a loved one who has crossed over, or of your angel guides, or whatever light being or beings you wish to consult, and the answer will be from the collective of loving allies, which are we and us in the communication. So you are communicating with your higher self, with your spirit guides, maybe with a loved one that's crossed over. So you need to pray and communicate with them and ask the question, and then you need to choose your card, choose a card for the answer, and then they say that you can choose a second card for clarity and a third card for a possible future. So you can choose 3 cards, so anybody can use it. This is a deck is almost like a plug and play thing. You can just pick it up once you get it and start asking questions, and you just have to pray about it, concentrate about it. If something is bothering you, ask these questions. And it tells you a little bit about Colette Baron-Reid as well on the back of here, and about the artist as well, which is Gina della Grottaglia. Gina della Grottaglia. She's a native New Yorker who lives in Los Angeles at the moment. So a little bit about the author. It also tells you about what cards the author has done. She's done the Good Tarot, the Enchanted Map Tarot, Enchanted Map Oracle, the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle decks, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, and Wisdom of the Oracle Divination cards. And she's written a series of books as well, because that's the map, Messages from Spirit, and Remembering the Future, and Uncharted. So quite a few books, quite a few things that she's done, and her work is very nice, and it's something that you can relate to. It's not something that's too heavy, but it really does hit the spot, especially when you're in a state where you're upset. So the card itself is it's not difficult at all. So you're going to have to, you can ask 3 questions or pick 3 cards and concentrate and read the cards itself. So the cards themselves, they're the size of postcards, because they are called postcards from spirit. And, it's like receiving a nice little postcard message. And they've got like a stamp of on the back of the card. It's got where the stamp should be. The postage stamp, it's got a 2 cents written there, 2 cents from heaven, and it's got this side for the address. So, it's almost like you've bought a blank postcard and you want to send this to somebody. So that's how the messages are coming through on this. And the cardstock is really good. Now, these are really, they're pretty big. So shuffling of these cards does make it a bit difficult. Not too bad, actually. So they come in various colors. It's like almost autumn kind of tones, with this oranges and these greens and slightly purpley kind of colors, almost like a watercolor feeling to it. And like I said, they are like postcards. So they've got like these stamps, you can see 2 cents going through it. And they are, you can't shuffle them quite easily, I think. They've got a very matte feeling to them, and they're quite thick. Really very, very similar to postcards that you would receive from somebody. Or if you bought a postcard, and you wanted to send it off, this is exactly what it feels like. So let's just draw. I'll show you the whole deck, I suppose. So I'll just draw one and just show you how it's done. So it's, if you pick a card, it says, "Dear you, uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Things are changing at a rapid pace, and the old ways we once trusted are no longer reliable." Excuse me. But leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. When you are pushed to step into the unknown, you are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. Have faith and support in the higher power and the infinite potential for your life. Right now, the advice we have for you is this. Try something new. Do something different. You don't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be. if you do not take the first step into the unknown and experience unfamiliarity. You will be so glad you did, because the treasure will appear, and we're so proud of you for being brave. You are so loved and supported. So this is just one of the messages that they have sent through. I mean, that you can read through, and it will be. I found it very, very accurate, really, for what I was feeling and going through, whatever messages or whatever cards. So this is talking about uncertainty in this particular card, and being brave and being able to face it, and why you should be facing it. Because if you don't do something different, if you don't try something new, you will never know. And that is so apt, in life itself. So picking the cards and just reading something just randomly from the deck itself is so pertinent. So let's just pick this particular card. It's got some really pretty pictures on the back. You've got this angel playing this flute on the back, and this is, "Dearest wonderful you, to help you manifest a life for the highest good, we invite you to examine your deepest desires. Imagine all your desires, no matter what kind, like magic seed pods in a basket, glowing with infinite potential. We look closely at each one. Are you afraid that some might bring you too much attention and invite negative reactions from others? Is change too daunting? Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Let yourself be led forward, and the seeds of positive intention take to the wind. Your desires count, and you are worthy of them. You are essential for co-creating your world. Did you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways you can't possibly know. We know you and love you so deeply and are so happy to support you." So this is such a beautiful message. And, this is something that is telling you to move forward. It's giving you faith and hope that, if you take the chance and plant the seed, you don't know how many people you influence in your life. I mean, you don't know how many lives you touch until you start doing things that will help you move in that positive direction. You don't know. Sometimes you feel like you're not worth it, and then you start realizing that you are important, because every person you talk to takes some of your energy, or you give them some of your energy, and that allows you to leave something good behind. So this deck of cards was so lovely, because it was, it allowed me to get my self-worth back and feel that, I am important. Just as everybody who watches this channel and gets the messages that I send, I try to read for them, that they are important, that, everybody's life is, the world would be a very poor place without you in it. So that is an important message to take home. And this deck of cards allows you to do that, to see that you are worth it. You are important. You are essential to the fabric of humanity and the fabric of life. So you are the very essence of life. And these cards make you aware that you are important. Everybody is important and everybody is loved. And that is a very important message that these cards give forth. So these are 52 cards. This is a 52 card deck. And like I said, you can pick 3 cards from it. I'm not going to read all the messages. So it's got the messages going through, and all of them end with such beautiful in such a beautiful way, and they're easy to read. The writing is nice and big, very, very simple to do. And you can pick this, on a daily basis. You can pick 3 cards every single day, knowing that you are actually communicating with, because these are messages from the other side. This Colette Baron-Reid is a psychic medium, so she does communicate, and these are messages that came through. And, from the other side, time is not linear. So, when you read these messages, that would be the right time for you to read the messages. It doesn't matter about when you read the message. It doesn't matter that she wrote the messages a while ago. All time is not linear. So, it is the right time to read it when you read it. So, it's a deck that I absolutely highly recommend. It is something that if you're going through a very difficult period of your life, it's something that you should have. Use it as part of, it's your weapons against the world, really. So keep it in your arsenal, I think. And even if you're not going through a hard time, it's something that, you can keep and use and read, and it can inspire you to do something better, do something higher. It pushes you into exploring all the possibilities, and know that you have the potential to do anything you want. And that is a very important thing. That is how we grow. It allows the energy, so the energy doesn't stagnate in you, so that you don't have this collection of negative energy because you have all these negative thoughts. So this breaks the cycle of those negative thoughts, and breaks the negativity, so that it allows the energy to flow in and out of you. And that is what the universe wants. It doesn't want stagnant energy. And you will see that whenever stagnant energy is around you, or if you're starting to have very negative thoughts, then you have things like the Tower coming in, the Tower in the tarot cards coming in and bringing big changes, or the Death card coming in and bringing big changes to shift to that energy, because you don't want that accumulation of negative energy. You want this flow to happen, and you want healing. You want to always live in that phase where you're in, the Temperance card, where you're in balance, where energy out is equal to energy in, and there's no accumulation of energy. And these cards seem to help with that. It seems to break that cycle of negative energy and allows that flow, and allows you to feel good. And positivity always brings growth. And who doesn't want to feel positive energy? So this is really something that you should consider buying. I highly recommend it, and it's just even for personal growth. It's not something that it's not something you need to share with everybody else, or nobody even needs to know if you have them. But it's just something that allows you to get through a daily thing, something on a daily basis, and allows you to make contact with your higher self. If you have people that have crossed over, maybe you want to make contact with them, and this is also messages that come in through them. Spirit uses these cards to send message. It's almost as though they pick the card and you read the message, the postcard from it. So it really is like getting a really nice postcard from somebody that you haven't heard from in a long time, or a message from your spirit guide whom you haven't heard from in a long time, or maybe you've never contacted them, but this is a really nice message to get from them. So I highly recommend this deck, and I hope you will consider buying it, because it's something that will really be helpful. It's something that will allow you to grow, and allow you to get more out of life. Because once you start seeing things from positive light, you start seeing all the possibilities and all the opportunities, and you don't miss opportunities. And even if you make choices, you're making them from the heart, and you're not making them and being disappointed with the choices that you make. So these kinds of positive cards are things that will help you. So I highly recommend this deck, and I hope that you consider purchasing it. It's really good. It won't break the bank either. It's not that expensive, and it's something that you will enjoy using it, and you will get a lot of wear out of it. Also, the cards are really nice and thick, so they're not going to they're really well done. They're not going to peel, and they shuffle really easily. I mean, you don't have to have vigorous shuffling going on with this. You just have to gently shuffle them and concentrate and meditate while you're doing it. Just think about what you want to ask, and these messages will come through for you. So please give it a whirl, and I'll put the links in the description box to Amazon and eBay, so you can buy it if you really are interested. But really something very something that you should consider getting. Just keeping it, especially if you're going down that spiritual route where you're looking for answers, and these kinds of decks are things that will provide answers. So if you enjoyed this particular deck walkthrough, there are a few other decks that I might show you that are more for your spiritual growth, and something that helps you grow and get through difficult periods. I mean, not everybody wants to be a tarot reader, so a lot of people don't particularly like looking at tarot card reviews, but these particular decks where you can get something out of it, something that's of worth, are well worth showing, and they're also well worth owning. And anybody can own it. You don't have to be a spiritualist, or you don't have to have, very strong religious beliefs in order to use these decks. They're just very simple, and they provide that kind of support that you do need sometimes to get you through a difficult period. So I hope you've enjoyed this deck review, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments. And thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.